as you can tell, it looks very different than what our spreadsheet did. And there's a reason behind that. We found that in talking to small businesses, the spreadsheet really confused them. Their eyes glazed over, they didn't understand it. And so we designed Helm to be very visual. So this top line graph is simply your bank balance over time, moving into the future. So as we change and we do forecasts and we create assumptions, you're going to see this move up and down and do a bunch of zigzags. But this is where your bank account will be on any given day from now and into the future. On the bottom of the graph, we've got what we call transactions. And so the transactions graph, and this is just an overlay of individual items in the system. So anything above 0 is a cash in, and anything below 0 is a cash out. This happens to be accounts receivable, and it's an inflow. And you can see the size of the bar is essentially the amount. So here we've got a $6,000 bar, whereas here we've got a $900 bar. The reason that that was built that way is so that you focus on what's important. You focus on the big stuff, because the big stuff makes the most impact. So we'll start by looking at the bank balance. There's really not too much to look at here. What Helm does is it connects to any bank account or credit card in your accounting system, whether it's Xero, QBO, or Sage, and it pulls out the reconciled balance. We want to use the reconciled balance because in the case here in North America, people still like to cut checks, and sometimes those checks do not clear the actual bank account, but they are cut out of the accounting system, and that makes sure that it's more accurate. Then we go into accounts receivable, and we take a look here at what we've got in our listing. The nice thing about Helm is we can calculate what we call average days receivable. So this is actually going using the data that we pulled, and it's making a bunch of calculations in terms of how our customers pay us. And so you can see immediately our graph changed. And that's because we've got accounts receivable in the system, and Helm calculated how these customers have paid us in the past. And it's telling us how they will then be paid. That's dictating how they will then pay us in the future. Is it 100% accurate? No, but most people forecast based off due date in terms of receivables, which is usually inaccurate because most people pay how they want to pay. And so you can see here, even though this company's terms are 30 days, you've got some people paid in 22, 56, 41, etc. But Helm takes that information and maps out accounts receivable timing for you so that you don't have to. So you can see, as opposed to our spreadsheet where we made very basic assumptions about when stuff's coming in, Helm automates this for you and it maps it out for you so you don't have to. You have to spend zero thought on this. It just simply does it for you. Outside of maybe you talk to City Limousine and they're now paying in 30 days because 56 is a little ridiculous, and you've created some new arrangement and you punch in 30 days here, Helm would calculate that out for you now. So you can change it, but it's giving you reality first, and it's creating your forecast for you based off that, so you don't have to. And that's a huge time saver. It not only gives you a ton of accuracy, but if you were imagining trying to do this for every individual customer, calculate their payment terms, that would be a ridiculous amount of effort. Like, that's why people don't do it. So huge bonus there. We do the same thing with accounts payable. So we'll simply click ADP. Appreciate again that people have their own due dates, but again, people pay how they pay. And so you can see again that our graph changed and our payables are now spread out over time based off how we pay our bills. Then we'll go into forecasting rules. So now what I've done to this point is simply go through the accounting system, which is all past looking information. As with any forecast, you need future looking information. You need to know what's going to happen. So you need to create your budgets. You need to pick those payments, that tab that I had in terms of recurring payments. We need to do that. We need to map all of that out. Here we click generate rules. And what Helm's doing is it's going through all that data pulled, it's making calculations, it's trying to find recurring entries, and it's creating budgets on top of that where it can't find recurring entries. And so I'll just close this for a second. But you can see here that, with a few clicks and in a couple of minutes, we've actually got a pretty good forecast built based off past history. And so what used to take me hours was really done in minutes. And that's maybe being a little bit unfair because we haven't put any thought into this, but we'll start walking kind of through best practice, so to speak, right now in terms of setting up a forecast. We're just highlighting that the pain and frustration that I had in 2080 in terms of setting up all of the data, manipulating it, managing it, that's all been eliminated. We really want to get people to that decision point. We really want to help them map out their business and make really good decisions as quickly as is possible. Bonus, we don't have to worry about breaking any formulas. And another bonus, we don't have to hop through about 1,000 different screens. We just clicked 3 buttons. Here we are.